Good morning, all. This is really heavy. Okay, I'm going to try not to use that paper, but we'll see how it goes. It's been such an inspiring day. I feel like positivity has been kind of woven through many of the speeches that were given, and I just give kudos to all of the speakers. It's not easy, especially if it's your first time getting up in front of a big group of people and sharing things about yourself and trying to encourage people. So kudos to all of the speakers. So it's funny that I chose this topic, and I'm going to switch it a little bit because that's what I do. So I'm going to focus on positivity through adversity. And so funny that, a week before holiday stress is hopefully over, that I'm talking about positivity. Because right now, a lot of us are wondering how we're going to get everything done. Why didn't I do more the last few weeks? Is so-and-so going to like the gift I gave them? Did I forget somebody's gift? Are they going to like the food that I make at Christmas time? Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be talking about positivity, right? Sorry, I'll get back on my focus. So let's start with the thought that some people are predisposed to be positive while others have to work a little bit harder at it. Do you know people who you would say, this person is a really positive person versus this person isn't? And some people try hard to work at it, and some people just don't care. But you have those people that are just generally positive at all times. And so while some people are predisposed to it, I would say that it's similar to public speaking, for example. There are people that appear to be naturals at it, and there are people that really have to practice and get up at places like this and face their fears and practice and prepare. Positivity is the same way. You really have to practice it sometimes, especially in certain situations where there's a lot of negativity surrounding you. You have to make the choice. And so I would say positivity is a choice at the end of the day. And it's a really important choice if you want to be successful and thrive and have that happiness that we talked about. So I learned pretty early on that for me, every day that I wake up in the morning, I have control over one thing, and that's myself, my attitude. I can choose how my day is going to go. No matter what's thrown at me, my attitude determines how I'm going to feel about it at the end of the day. And so for me, it would have been very easy to have a negative outlook because I didn't grow up the way that I didn't provide the life, or I didn't have the life that I'm trying to provide for my girls. So two-parent household, stability, all basic needs being met. I was born to a teenage mom who was born to a teenage mom. And so that was kind of a cycle that was happening. At the next level, we did have stability, but there was a struggle there. I didn't meet my dad by his own choice until I was 11 or 12. And that relationship that I had longed for a decade or so was very short-lived. My mom, in her desire to provide for her family and to really find her place in life, moved us around a lot. So I was born in New Jersey. We moved to North Carolina, California, Virginia, Maryland, back to New Jersey. So I attended 3 high schools in 3 different states. So my circumstances didn't set me up for success. And it can be easy to kind of focus on that. But society and statistics kind of on top of that would say, there's no way you're going to succeed. There's no way that you're going to be good at math and science, little girl, little black girl. There's no way that you're going to graduate top 5 of your high school class. There's no way that you're going to get a full scholarship in civil engineering. There's no way that you're going to accomplish things because of your circumstances. And for me, I was fortunate to have so many people throughout my life that really provided that positivity and helped me grow that positivity over time. Whether it be teachers, friends, parents who kind of gave me that nurturing that I needed at different key points in time to help me know that no matter what my circumstances were, that I could really choose where I was going to go in life. And so positivity does not mean that everything's going to be rainbows and bunnies, but the struggles are going to help you if you can see that light at the end of the tunnel. So share a little bit of a story with you. silly story, but shows about how positivity can kind of change how things go. Senior year at University of Delaware, I really wanted to go on spring break. I hadn't been my other 3 years, and I had saved enough money to be able to go. So my roommates and I, we booked this trip to Acapulco because that's where a lot of our friends were going. We booked with a certain tour agency, and we were just so excited about it. And a few weeks before we were supposed to leave, we got the call saying that our trip was canceled. Epic devastation on my part, but it was only momentary, because I also believe that positivity can lead you to creative solutions. So this is the year 2000. We've just gone through the Y2K craziness. Computers are around, but they're not what they are today. E-commerce isn't what it is today. So I figured out a way to get our refund, which required me to drive to Maryland to get a check from somebody. It wasn't Google at the time, but I'm going to say Googled the hotel Copacabana that we were supposed to stay at. And I called Mexico, because at that time you weren't booking online hotels. So I called Mexico, and I should note that I took French all the way through high school, so I didn't speak any Spanish. So that was a fun, discussion, but was able to book our hotel, booked our flight. We went to Acapulco, we had a blast. And I would say it would have been very easy to, woe is me, we have to change our plans, yada, yada, yada. But it really made me kind of creative and say, how can I make this happen? Because my outlook is I'm going to Acapulco one way or the other. And so that positivity can really set you up for good things. Positivity doesn't mean, though, that everything is going to go your way. So in the late 2000s, working for Del Dot for several years, I applied for a position that I really, really wanted. And I just knew it was mine. And then I got told that I didn't get it. So I'll say that I started off on the bitterness track and the angry track, and that was my job. How are you telling me that I didn't get it? Luckily, I was able to get over myself, which is important in that scenario, and to really kind of refocus and say, okay, what is it that I want? And to LaTanya's point, I needed to diversify. I thought that I was it and I had it all, but I really need to go and branch out. So I set off on a different career path that included a move to maintenance, which was completely outside of my comfort zone. I was an engineer. I knew how to solve problems, but I didn't know most of the work that the maintenance staff did. I didn't know how to kind of interact and explain, here's my engineering speak, and how do I get you to implement it. And so that allowed me to use my skills in a different way and develop as a person. And through that move and a series of other crazy things that happened, I'm here today. And so I would say that while there was adversity and there was a personal struggle and there was a lot of work that went into it, without that and without the positivity, I wouldn't be here today in this role anyway. My career would have taken a different path. I might have stayed on that trajectory of go through the ladder, wait your turn, all of that. And so I would say that situation helped me when I paired it with my positivity to make a good change for myself. So research has shown that positivity improves performance because people are more motivated and more effective. Positivity isn't wishful thinking, though. It takes real action. It's not sit and wait and hope. It's do and make changes and make adjustments and align yourself with people that can encourage you. And I'll say that your role, wherever you are in the department, part of that is to build the people up that are around you. You never know what that encouraging word or that moment of support can do for someone, can mean for somebody. And so make it a point every day to say thank you, recognize people for what they've done, and give them the support that they need, help them brainstorm on where they want to go and help them figure out a path to get there. And so with that, I would say positivity takes action. It's a choice. I hope that you'll choose it for the end of 2019 as well as into 2020. Thank you.